All right, so this is a more political type video, something you might get from other channels, but I feel that it's important to get into because I don't hear many people talking about this angle, and I feel it's extremely relevant. It makes a lot of sense to me. I want to make sure you hear this message. As the title indicates, it has, it's about the gun laws. So, first and foremost, I don't care for violence at all, which many of you, I'm sure, agree with. That you don't care for violence. I think violence sucks. I think firearms suck. All of it. All that freaking bullcrap violence, war, terrible. I don't care for it. If there was a magic potion that would just make all weapons vanish forever, I would be first in line to sign up for that recommendation to initiate this magic potion to be distributed to get rid of all the weapons. But we don't live in a world where all the weapons can magically vanish. We live in a world at this point in time that's pretty heavy and dense. It's getting lighter every second. World peace is coming. Oh, God, is world peace coming? And a lot of you don't see that. And some of you think that it's foolishness and naiveness for me to have that take. To each their own. But I know world peace is coming. We can also talk about how there's different timelines, and it won't be world peace for everyone. But I've seen it. I've seen it. Sean's seen it. I've seen the changes for the positive over time. The timeline that you're hearing me talk from now is headed towards world peace. I'm absolutely certain of it. However, at this present moment, it's still pretty violent around these parts. It is a free will planet. We have free will. The earth, school for souls to inhabit these human bodies, is still a free will zone. It's quite dangerous. A lot of souls wouldn't come here. Too dangerous. We are brave soldiers. Soldiers, and it doesn't have to be a fighting war soldier. We are brave experiencers to come here. Our souls, who we really are. We're brave to come here. This free will zone can be very dangerous. And it is very dense compared to a lot of the realities out there. Again, that's changing rapidly. But it's still an issue. So that gets me back to the gun laws. So yes, based on the environment we currently live in. Now, also, before I continue, I understand that a lot of countries in the world, the average citizen doesn't have access or the liberty to have firearms. There is advantages and disadvantages to that situation. But the countries that do have firearms being legal, prominently in the United States, and there are a couple other countries as well. But yes, the United States, guns are legal. Yes, there is going to be many people who are thinking now and have probably mentioned out loud to others that, yeah, there's a lot of gun violence and a lot of gun deaths in America. A lot of guns, a lot of people getting killed by guns. This is very true, but guess what? In America, if there was no guns, if they didn't exist, if that wasn't invented, there would still be a lot of violence because that's the culture. America was born on. See, this is getting too political. I'm gonna reel it in. I'm gonna go back. All right. If you have specific questions, you want my take on specific things, please ask me. I'm gonna have a question and answer video that come out periodically, and you can ask me there, and I'll answer it. But anyway, before I lose too many more people, listen. The gun laws are very misunderstood. In America, where there are very strict gun laws, in other words, the average law-abiding citizen is not allowed to have guns very easily. There tends to be more crime, more theft, robbery, home invasions, all that good stuff. In the parts of America where the gun laws are the most relaxed, in other words, the average law-abiding citizen can more easily have firearms, the less violent crime, home invasions, and all that good stuff occur. How likely do you think it's going to be for someone to get gunned down at a gun show? No, I don't have the stats, but I do listen to others who put in the research on some of these topics. And then I match that up with my intuitive feelings, my gut instincts, wisdom, if you will, and just general knowledge. And it makes perfect sense. Yeah. You don't see people getting gunned down at a gun show because everyone's packing. What idiot's going to pull out a gun and try and waste someone at a freaking gun show? I'm not saying guns are good. Beginning of my video, I clearly stated I can't stand weapons and violence. It all sucks. But in the current climate of this reality, law-abiding citizens carrying firearms discourages violent crime, violent acts against them. Does that not make sense? If a law-abiding citizen, quote-unquote good person, is carrying, well, the bad guys are much less likely to try and rob them, especially if they know the person's carrying. And if the law-abiding citizen is not carrying, and the quote-unquote bad guys know for a fact the person is not carrying, they're much more likely to be robbed. There is a country, I'm not gonna name it now, at least, but there's a country that had gun laws changed. All of a sudden, pistols were banned. The law-abiding citizens were not allowed to have pistols anymore, just the long guns, the rifles and stuff. So all of a sudden, the weapons that can be concealed on the person were no longer allowed. So the law-abiding citizens didn't have the pistols, only the criminals. They didn't give a crap. Guess what happened in that country? The crime of home invasion, for the first time ever, became statistically relevant. Prior to the ban on handguns, it wasn't an issue. All of a sudden, no more concealed weapons like that. All of a sudden, the bad guys got more brazen. So when gun laws are relaxed and everybody can have a gun, it keeps the bad guys at bay. And when the gun laws are strict as you know what, and all the good guys can't touch the guns, only the bad guys have the guns. Because guess what? The bad guys are going to have the guns. The bad guys are going to have the guns. So in this reality, the way it is currently structured, one way to combat that is to allow the good guys to have guns too. So that's my 2 cents on that subject.